It's time for a new art challenge.
Because like art isn't already challenging enough.
Hello, and today we have an art challenge, which I frankly don't think I'm up for. I am going to take one of your drawings and see if I can intensify or curse. We have a lovely drawing from Pro Supersetter. Thank you very much for sending that in for me. Let's see what I can do with this little guy. I'm going to try and make it kind of 3D-ish. I don't have Photoshop, but I do have Procreate on my iPad. So I'm going to give it a bit of a go and see what I do. As you know,
I don't know what I'm doing.
I hope you enjoy this first episode of Intensify or Curse.
The kids who like dodgy art.
Who forgot to pay the voiceover guy? Okay, so to begin with, I took the drawing and then masked out a few of the basic shapes, although I don't know what is happening with those body shapes. Then I started to use some photos to put in there for some textures. I used an elephant chunk for the head. It already had kind of some roundness to the perspective, and then a crocodile eye for the eye, which I thought was a pretty cool eye. Once I had those two shapes together, it looked something like this. Then I had to put in some shadowing to try and make that eye part of the sphere, and yeah, we kind of got there a little bit. I made the eye purple because that kind of fit with the original colour theme of the drawing. And then I just continued to struggle with some of the shadowing and trying to create some folds and shapes within the head itself, as you can see, and trying to lay in some of the textures there. Something weird was happening with the layers and I couldn't quite figure out where the problem was. So in the end, I kind of decide that this texture isn't really working for me, but we'll sort that out later. So then I got that same alligator skin and I used it for some body parts, body texture, and used some warp to kind of fit it around the body, make it a round shape. Took out the color and desaturated it, and then started laying in some shadows to make some 3D-like form as well. There you go, he is looking like a funny little cute character. All right, I mean, it's taking shape a little bit, kind of. So here's where I decide that the head texture kind of needs to match the body texture, and it looks so much better. So I warped that in and added, used some of the same shadows actually to make some of those folds because I thought that looked kind of cool, and then decided we needed to add a few highlight layers as well. I decided to use some bat wings for the wings as a photo texture, and so I cut those out from a picture where I thought the perspective looked kind of alright. I also loved how the wings were already backlit, which is kind of what I was hoping to do. So they already had some of that transparent lighting coming through the wing skin texture, which I would of course paint a little bit more of that later on down the track. So I added some shadows into the wings to make sure that they fit on the body and looked like that they were actually coming out from this little guy's body. So there we go, I just put in some local shadows really close to the body and where things touch each other, and then some broader shadowing as well, just to form the shape a little bit more. I remembered that in the original drawing from Pro Supersetter, one of the wings was red and one was white, and so I thought that might have been an intentional design. So I set about making this right wing kind of like a more white kind of ring. The right wing, more white wing. Anyway, and I wanted some of those veins inside it to kind of still have that red hue, which I thought looked pretty cool. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if he had like some kind of internal fire kind of heat furnace kind of inside him, which he could, you know, destruct all around him with fire, and it kind of glows and comes out of the cracks of his body kind of thing. I painted that a little bit more and then put some kind of particle-y kind of things just around him in the air, just to add a little bit of movement. For the horns, I used some goat horns that I thought were kind of the right shape according to the original drawing, and then I desaturated and made it black and white, and then added the shadowing to make that look like it was coming out of his head. I then copy and pasted to the other one because lazy. Next I wanted to add that red colouring to the horns, and I decided to kind of make it more like glowing from the top. So I really put some high saturation kind of in the ends and the tip there.
Now you might be thinking, hang on, this guy looks pretty cute. Well, I'm going to put him in environment now, and I don't know how to do that.
So I thought like a little burnt out forest would be quite cute. Like he's just kind of been coming through the forest and just like burning everything in sight because he's kind of a little bit out of control of his little powers and he's a little bit sad and alone. And so I just got these burnt out kind of trees and just changed up the colour a little bit, put in some kind of burning coal and embery kind of things. And this is where we should have stopped because now it takes a turn for the cursed. And it doesn't look so bad until I try and put this purple saturation through to kind of match the colouring of the original drawing. And then I add some flames and try and kind of make it look like he's kind of engulfed in the flames a little bit, but they're coming off his body and he's kind of just sitting in them. He looks a little bit sad, and I kind of wanted to give this like cute little sad sitting in the flames kind of vibe. And here's where it gets a little bit weirder because I add another colour. Don't mind the flames just sitting there, by the way. But I add another colour, kind of the teal colour, looking for some fog or some kind of outside the forest light coming in. And I don't know if that really worked or not, but I kind of went with it anyway. I experimented with trying to make the flames kind of like that bluish colour, but I don't know. I went back to a regular colour, but you tell me in the comments below what you think. Should I have stuck with the blue flame, or do you think that the regular flame colour kind of made it pop a little bit more? I don't know. I'm still undecided about that. After adding the flames, I kind of had to intensify those kind of like cracks to show where the source of the flames and that were coming from. So I intensified those cracks on his body. Then I needed to add some of that light coming from the flames reflecting onto his body around him too. And I spent a bit of time painting all around the edges and the bones and a little bit of light reflections on the tips and bones of those wings. And well, where I think they would anyway. This is in no way scientific or accurate. And that looked pretty good, so I thought, why not go around and just keep intensifying all of the light reflections around him in the environment and the logs, where it would bounce coming out of the cracks more, and just intensify the glow of the flame kind of effect everywhere. And that was looking okay. And so I thought, okay, I need to bring in some of that kind of bluish colour from way deep in the background, like it's kind of like a light from outside coming in, and kind of start to bring that in, and decided to try and backlight the wings kind of with that. So I don't know, this is maybe where the colours kind of even went a little bit crazier, and I might have gone a little bit too far, but you know, once I started I didn't stop. So more blue fog, more colours. This is now the colour of a rainbow, and no one can stop me now. So at this point I think more is more, so let's throw in more embers, more particles, and just more. I tried to fix the crazy by just adjusting it to make it a little bit darker, and well, you know, I decided to go in and sharpen it and apply some kind of sharpening definition and a little bit of colour tweaking filters, and here is the result.
So what do you guys think? Did we pull off an intensify, or did we kind of keep going till we made it curse? I think I know which one I'm voting for, but let me know in the comments below. And would you like to see more of these? Don't forget to like, even if you think it was ridiculous. And 1 subscribe equals 1 art lesson. And once again, thank you, Pro Supersetter, for sending in your drawing. If you'd like me to have a try at ruining your art, jump in the Discord and find out how. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, providing you guys like it. I find this disturbing.